beautiful Capricorn, welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with your career reading for the end of October right through to the end of November 2022. I've already cleansed your space and have meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about to pertain between me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not take your money. I do not take e-gifts. I'm not on Facebook, WhatsApp, PayPal, Telegram, or Patreon. I will never ask you for your credit card details. I will never ask for personal details. And I will also never give you a cell phone number to call. So if anyone masquerading as me asks you for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. I'm going to cleanse your space hourly, so please be mindful there's going to be 3 loud sounds. Let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Capricorn, this is your career reading. Firstly, I'd like to apologize for the length of time it has taken me to get this reading to you in the first place. Unfortunately, I was very unwell. Me and my family came down with a really nasty bug, and I spent most of a week and a bit in bed feeling sorry for myself. I could barely get out of bed. So here I am though. It's a little bit late, but it's here, and let's get straight to your reading. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Capricorn? What do they need to know regarding their career? Can you please guide them for their highest good? What are they meant to be aware of? Now, just to let you know, the first pile is your protagonist energy, how you're feeling about your career right now, and the second pile is any obstacles or distractions, anything that's been getting in your way that you feel you need to overcome at this time, and the third pile is your unified energy, how things are working out for you. Okay, now of course we have the new moon eclipse on the 25th of October, and it's in Scorpio. This eclipse tends to bring a little bit of uncertainty. It can expose weaknesses in areas where we feel a little bit sort of how can I put that, unmotivated, or you need feel like you need to change, or you may feel like you don't have certain skills in order to bring you forward. It allows us the opportunity to reinvest and reinvent ourselves. So it's actually a very important period. We also have another eclipse on the 6th of November, which actually makes us sort of really become aware of the next step on our journey. Even in uncertain times, we find a way, okay? Now, of course, just after the eclipses, we have a wonderful alignment between Mercury, the planet of communication, Mars, the planet of action. And this influence kind of allows us to get back on track when it comes to our career. So if you've been feeling unmotivated, or you've been feeling a little bit disinterested or even unfulfilled in your career at the moment, it's about making the changes to get back on track. Now, of course, Mercury is going direct, which is very positive. It allows us to negotiate better deals, make adjustments to be a little bit more happier within our working environment, and getting what we truly deserve and desire in terms of an outcome. But also, we have Mars going retrograde, okay? And that can make us feel a little bit like, how can I put it, like you've got low energy or low vibe kind of energy, where you feel a little bit lackluster. It can also make you feel like it's time to really focus on things that you have not sort of finished, projects that have been left undone, areas in your career where you feel are exposed, or you feel you need to get a little bit more knowledge on, okay? Now, that Mars retrograde gives us an opportunity to reimagine our career and sort of improve areas where we feel there needs to be change, okay? So let us see what is showing up for you. We've got the 7 and 8 of Swords there as well. So let's just pop that there and close that deck off as well. Now, the first card you've got is the Fool card. So very curious about your career. You have a lot of potential and you are very gifted at what you do. Now, the Fool card is a card that can sometimes connect to taking some sort of risk, or stopping and thinking about the next step. If you're normally a very cautious person, it can mean that it's time to push the boundaries, be a little bit bolder in your career. But if you're someone who tends to take risks, it tends to be like pause, look around before you take that leap of faith. But the Fool card indicates the beginning of something. Now, it can be the beginning of a new adventure. It's the beginning of the major arcanas, which means you are looking to the future with hope, and you know that the universe has got your back, okay? This is about forging a new path. So if you've been feeling a little bit stuck in your career, or you've been feeling like you've been bogged down with bureaucracy, or paperwork, contracts that you need to sign, or you feel like just that you've been a bit stagnant, things have not been working in your favor, or things are always delayed, and you feel like you're not really sort of closer to a goal that you have been hoping for a while, this indicates a new start, okay, or a bit of a leap into the right direction, being elevated. The Fool card also indicates a new energy, or suddenly there's a spring in your step when it comes to your career. You're curious about new options, or new ways of working. You definitely are trying to change your circumstances for the better, okay? So the Fool card can be enjoying the journey. It's like opening yourself up to a new route to get to where you want to go. So some of you may be adjusting your path, or making changes within the way that you work in order to enjoy what you do a little bit more. If you feel that things have become a little bit humdrum, or a little bit in routine, because the Fool card is a playful spirit. It's like, how can I enjoy what I'm doing? How can I bring my unique original talent and gifts and skills to my career sector in order to enhance my experience and capitalize on those skills and be rewarded financially for the efforts that I put in, okay? So that Fool card is like, suddenly you're curious about new ways of doing things, or new ways of working. It doesn't mean that you're actually, completely having a new start in your career, like you're just suddenly leaving a workspace, but it can do. The Fool card can be like, how can I change the way that I work so that I can enjoy myself a little bit more? How can I sort of make things a little bit more interesting? So some of you may decide to put yourself on courses of learning, enhancing skills in order to make things a little bit more interesting. And some of you may even change the work that you do, or the way that you work, so you can streamline your time and have a little bit more time for you, okay? But the Fool card indicates a little bit more jovial energy. You're approaching your career with a little bit more energy over the next 4 to 5 weeks, okay? The Death card signals change, and because that new moon eclipse is in Scorpio, you're going to feel it really heavily in your career. The Death card is a signal that something big is ending, perhaps, and you are embracing a new start. So if you are thinking about, bossing up, moving to a different environment, or setting up your own business, or even putting out your resume to attract new opportunities, the Fool card indicates you are ready for a new start, or you're ready for something new. And the Death card signals change. It signals the end of either doing something a certain way, or it signals the end of some sort of project, or the end perhaps of a job that you're in already, and you're walking away from that into new opportunities, okay? So that Death card is an indication that there is a restructure, okay? Something big is ending. Now, this could be the change of a career itself, moving into a different sector. It could also be, just embracing a new job, like a raise or a promotion, a new title. Some of you may be stepping into leadership roles, or roles of responsibility, because you have the Emperor card there along with the Chariot, which indicates you being successful, okay? Getting this desired success that you've been hoping for. With that Death card, it can also indicate that this is a total revamp of your finances. So some of you, you may be, with that Fool card, you may be opening yourself up to new financial endeavors. And I would say with the Fool card and the Death card, make sure you don't take any risky sort of investments. I mean, of course, you know yourself, do your due diligence, but if it feels really risky, I would just do a little bit more investigation, get a little bit more curious about it before you invest in it, okay? Now, I don't know anything about economics, of course, but I can tell with the time frame that we're living in right now and the energy that's coming out in the cards, we had a real fluctuation on the markets, a major one, back in Virgo season, okay? And that was the start of things becoming very unsettled. I mean, they have been gradually becoming more and more unsettled, but the energy that I'm getting is what starts as a little bit of a wobble in Virgo season tends to become, you know, a bit more of a big deal in Scorpio season. It tends to come to a climax. So I would watch any investments that you have, make sure you've done your due diligence, protect the things that you've already invested in, whether it's your finances in the banks and things like that. Make sure they're in financial institutions that you trust, but also make sure that, you know, they're covered by things like insurance and things like that. So you know the drill, my beautiful Capricorn. You tend to be very financially savvy anyway. So, but I'm getting this energy of exterior changes, things going, changing outside ourselves. I mean, you only need to look at the news to see that there is rising prices of living, but also inflation and things like that. But I definitely feel like there's major shifts occurring behind the scenes that will affect people long term, okay? Now, the Death card also indicates you are ready for something new. You're evolving, okay? This is a card of evolution. It's a card of progress. So you're being really savvy in your career to cut out the things that are just not working for you and embracing new ways of doing things. It's like a rite of passage. It can also be a card of regeneration, okay? So whatever you feel like you've lost out on, you're not letting it get you down because you know that whatever is meant for you will never pass you by, okay? So you're allowing some things to end. You're cutting out things that you don't really like doing in your business. For example, some of you may be delegating things that you don't particularly like doing, and, you know, sort of taking on other projects or other ways of working. If you work for yourself, perhaps, you know, sometimes we've got to do the jobs that we really don't like if we work for ourselves. And if you've got second streams of income, I feel like you're making adjustments to do a lot of multitasking and making sure that you keep things interesting as you move throughout your business, because there's nothing worse than doing something that, of course, you don't like. But I mean, we all have to do a job that we don't particularly like, or there are aspects of our jobs that we don't particularly like, but we have to do those things in order to earn money, of course. Now, the Three of Pentacles tells me that you are very talented. You're very gifted at what you do. You're very creative, or you're you know, really good at planning. This is a card of engineering. It's a card of continuity. It's a card of sustained effort, building a solid financial foundation, okay? Now, this is a card of using your talents to invest in projects or in your career. Some of you may be, you know, enhancing your skills or taking on a new skill set. Some of you will be honing your craft in order to make more money, because I definitely see you trying to use the skills that you've got in order to bring in finances. But some of you may even use second streams of income, or, you know, put the feelers out to try and earn another stream of income in some area of your life, okay? Because the Three of Pentacles is all about financial gain, but it's also about building a solid foundation, being clever with your finances. This is a card of being careful about money, being cautious. Now, when we have the Fool card and the Death card there, this indicates caution when it comes to your finances, because there could be big changes around the financial arena, okay? So also the Three of Pentacles indicates weighing up your options when it comes to work and working environments. So I definitely see you like working well as a team member, but also being someone who has a lot of ingenuity to work on yourself and be independent. With the Three of Pentacles, I actually see people sort of talking behind your back, my beautiful Capricorn, and admiring your craft from afar, or admiring the skill set that you have. They may not tell you, but they are, you know, really sort of some of you may even feel this. You may feel that some of your co-workers feel a little bit threatened by your talent, okay? With the Justice card in the reverse position, it can indicate that sometimes there are some people who are not honest at work. So if you've got wonderful ideas, and I feel like you have, make sure you keep those wonderful ideas to yourself, that people are not going to take credit for the effort and the work that you are doing. Okay, so very important message there. Now, the Justice card in this position also indicates that you have to make a decision regarding your career. You may be weighing up or making adjustments to changes that are going on around you. So some of you in the working sector, if you work in an office or you work in a certain industry, you may notice a lot of changes that are going around, and you may be wondering how they affect you. The Justice card indicates you are someone who is very disciplined, but also someone who is really flexible. You're able to make adjustments to the changes that are going around you. And it's because you have a lot of wisdom, you have a lot of knowledge, and I feel some of you are actually trying to find balance between a working environment that perhaps where you work with others in a team, but also in a home business or some sort of side hustle where you do something solitary. Or some of you are trying to find a way to set up a business, if you haven't already, to go independent, work for yourself, because the Hermit energy is a card of solitary. It can be, setting up independently, using your knowledge and being really savvy about your career. The Justice card also can indicate new contracts. Okay, so if you're putting your feelers out for a new job opportunity, you may get interviews and get the job. I see you getting the job, being successful, and actually having a new contract to sign. Be careful, always look at the fine print there. Make sure that you get the truth. This is the Sun card there, and this figure here is also shining a light. So this indicates, get clarity on any contracts that come your way. Make sure you read the small print. You don't want anything to surprise you a little bit later on, especially since you have a Seven of Swords right there, okay, and the Eight of Swords, which can mean, is there something you're not seeing? Is there something you have not read? Don't go too fast, because there may be something that you're not aware of right now, but intuitively you can feel it. So pay close attention to your hunches, okay? Also, if you've worked in an industry or an environment for a while and they are changing your contract in some way, make sure you actually do your due diligence and make sure that you are managing to keep the benefits that you had before. Because if you work for a company for many years and you've worked up a set of benefits or bonuses and things like that, and suddenly a company comes along to try and change or restructure the company and gives you a new contract to sign, it can mean that all those benefits are null and void from before. Even if you have worked for the company for like 20 years and then suddenly they make you redundant after you make a new contract, and they're like, well, we don't owe you much redundancy money because you signed a new contract, so you've only worked with us for a month or something, and you don't get that benefit anymore. You don't get 20 years of redundancy. I'm not seeing redundancy here, so I just want you to be aware of changes in contracts. So I'm just actually making giving you sort of an example. I'm not saying, I don't see redundancy here, so I don't want anyone sort of freaking out, okay? The Justice card also indicates the effort that you put into your career and knowing that you will get the rewards that you deserve, okay? The Justice card is about getting, finding a solution to any difficulties, but getting what you truly deserve and what you really worked hard for, okay? It's about your commitment to prosperity and actually seeing it on the physical plane. I see that you've worked really hard, and you may have felt that the efforts that you have made have not really given you the rewards that you've been hoping for, and you may feel that things are always delayed, or you may feel like with the Sun in this position that you may feel a little bit unmotivated, or you may have been feeling a little bit unfulfilled recently in your career, and you may be asking yourself, is this a career you still want to do? And if it's not, how do you make adjustments or make changes to enjoy yourself a little bit more? Because I definitely see you low energy or maybe even low morale at where you're working, and this could come from the fact that people are not being honest, or you feel like there's a toxic work environment, or you could feel that people are abusing their power or in some way being unfair in working practices, okay? So some of you may even be going through a legality regarding work, or a co-worker, or someone in your working environment, and you may feel a little bit alone as you make this battle. I would say there's a win-win situation here. I feel like things work out in your favor. because justice is on your side on the outcome there. But the Emperor does say get some really good advice if you're going through illegality, especially if you're taking on an establishment or things like that, okay? Because they're always going to employ the better sort of lawyers and things like that. So you just want to make sure that you get some really good advice. But I don't see that for everyone. I see a small percentage of that occurring. The Sun card is a quest for being happy in your working environment. It's also a card of success, of clarity and glory. You're standing out. I feel like a lot of you are going to be appreciated in your working environment and get nods from people that you work with. I feel there's going to be people who actually champion you to raise through the ranks, and I definitely see a new contract of sorts coming into your energetics field. So some of you will be taking on a promotion, or there will be something offered to you, some sort of change or restructure that benefits you, okay? It benefits you. But again, read the contract, because it can mean like something, you're offered a promotion and they're going to give you a little bit more money, but you find that you're doing the job of 3 or 4 people. So you're taking on a whole lot more than you banked on. And, so it's about getting the details before you sign on the dotted line, okay? The Sun indicates a lot of success, a lot of abundance, and money flowing to you. It represents joy, but it's also an indication of the effort that you put in and the motivation, the drive, the commitment. And you are a hard worker, my beautiful Capricorn, but you may have been feeling completely exhausted, that you've been going at a mile a minute in your career. You're investing all of your hard work and your attention and your focus, and you may feel a couple of things. One is that you feel like you should be a little bit further along on your path right now, and you feel like things are stagnant, and you're trying to cut things out that you don't enjoy in your career in order to streamline or move forward. Also, some of you may have felt like you've been focusing so much on work that you've had no time to enjoy yourself, go out with friends and things like that. So it's about finding balance. That Justice card is about finding balance, making adjustments, okay? Now, also we have the Hermit card here, and the Hermit card is a card of not sort of, in this position in particular, this is a card of like not following patterns or repeating mistakes when it comes to your career. It can also indicate feeling stuck in your career. So you may feel like you've plateaued to a certain area. You may feel a little bit antsy or a little bit frustrated, and you want to inject a little bit more excitement or make things more interesting in your career. So I feel like you're changing things up, either to reinvent how you do your career, or actually use skills that you're not using, because I feel like you're very talented, multi-talented across the board. I see second streams of income, third streams of income for you. I see you, doing a lot of things to bring in the money, okay? Now, the Hermit card also is a card of time to go solo. So some of you may be trying to set up, your independent business, become an entrepreneur. The Emperor card is a card of, independence, but also power, control, and success, plans coming to fruition, things taking shape. So with that Hermit card, I feel some of you may be searching for inspiration. Some of you may be searching or being inspired about what makes you happy. What do you enjoy doing in life, and how do you do that to be financially stable and bring in and attract more abundance, okay? The Sun card with the Hermit card indicates that you will, bring in a lot of success. You're attracting a lot of success. You're working really hard for it, and you may be working alone or going off grid for a little while to really focus without distraction. So, but I definitely get this energy of some of you trying to set up your own business or go through the logistics of setting up your own business, or something that you can do from home, okay? Because the Hermit is like, can be something that's done in the home space. So I definitely see that. So some of you may be like, adjusting your tax code, for example, because you've got second streams of income. Or some of you may be noticing that around you, taxes are changing, or, contracts are changing, or the way you work or the sector that you work in, there's little changes occurring that you have to adjust to, and you will adjust to, okay? Now, the outcome energy, we've got the Emperor. So you are in control, and this is a card of strength, success, structure and planning. This is a card of respect and leadership. So I feel a lot of you have leadership skills that you will be embracing. Some of you are taking on more responsibility at work, and you will be fairly, because the Justice card is there, you will be fairly recompensed for it. But it's really interesting that the Emperor card is a card of being strict. Okay, it is a card of being strict with your time, strict with your budget, getting organized and not wasting time. Okay, so this can be a card of you being a little bit hard on yourself sometimes, my beautiful Capricorn, but you tend to get the job done. Okay, you're cultivating good career habits and good financial habits as well. So I feel this card is a card of not wanting to waste time, especially as you have the Chariot card there as well. It's like you want to go faster, you want to be more forward, you want to elevate quicker. Okay, with the Fool card, I would say definitely do not take any risks in order to get forward quicker. I would say do all your due diligence because you don't want any surprises. But the Emperor card indicates you're going to be a little bit more strict with your time and with your focus in order to get ahead. So I feel as you approach November and December, I see a lot of focus. I see you being really serious about your career and your advancement and your ambition. And as you sort of come to the end of December, I see you letting your hair down a little bit more as well. Okay, the Justice card indicates things go in your favor, things are balancing out nicely, you're making the adjustments, and you will win whatever it is you are trying to accomplish. But also, if you've been having some sort of difficulty in your workspace or with colleagues, office politics, or people abusing their power or being dishonest or just unfair in any shape or form, the Justice card indicates you will find a solution to your situation and things will work out favorably for you. Okay, also with the Justice card, and a lot of people are getting the Justice card, this is a card of dealing with paperwork, contracts, and it can also be about shuffling your finances around, making sure that you take some money from one bank account in order to pay your bills in another. So you may be reshuffling things at this time, but again, it's a card with the Chariot, which means keep a tight rein on your finances during this period because there is economic change. Okay, so I definitely see that for the collective, especially since you've got a lot of major arcana cards here, but I feel that there's an energy here of you sort of being very financially savvy. Okay, also, the Justice card indicates some good karma coming your way. Your effort will pay off. It's a cause and effect. You put the effort in and you will be rewarded for the effort that you have put in there. The Chariot card is a card of success. It's a card of overcoming obstacles. It's a card of victory and winning, but it's also a directional gauge. So with these cards, I see you have a choice. So I feel you've got a lot of options available to you in your career, and you are in control of the changes. Remember, you're very talented at what you do. They're showing me how gifted you are, and the Chariot card indicates that you can do many, many things and do them well, but you must focus on one thing at a time and sort of finish what you start. Okay. Also with the Chariot card, I see some of you maybe even taking a vacation, or even, if you're actually moving jobs, you will maybe go a little bit further afield, perhaps buy a car or even get a company car connected with the job. But I definitely see you moving forward, elevating in your career towards success. Okay. Now we do have the Seven of Swords and the Eight of Swords. Now they came out together, and the Seven of Swords, you can read the Seven of Swords a couple of ways. The Seven of Swords traditionally, is someone moving in stealth. And they are actually, the history of the card is that the figure is stealing the weaponry. The figure does not want to go to war. He does not want to go into battle. So instead of, fighting head on, this person decides to take away the weapons so that the opposition doesn't have anything to fight with. So I feel like this person's intentions, whilst looking shady, I feel like the ultimate intention is good. That is what the history of the card tells us, okay? But it can mean that there are some shady dealings going on behind the scenes. It can mean that there is someone who is trying to push your buttons on purpose, or someone who could steal your ideas. Also, when you get this card, it can be a card of going slowly, because normally the figure is in stealth, but also is sort of quickly running away from the scene of the crime, and normally leaves a couple of swords behind because they've had to move quickly. So it indicates don't move too quickly, otherwise you may miss something or you may leave something behind. So there's an indication of acting cautiously in any changes that you sort of implement in your career, okay? Or for example, and this is just coming through right now, so this is wonderful, but if, for example, if you are writing an email that could be a little bit personal at work and you send it to the wrong person, you know, it means, you know, you could have just fired off an email really quickly and it ends up in the wrong person's mailbox. You know, it could lead to a little bit of embarrassment. So just watch out for that. Make sure you're sending the emails to the right person and things like that, okay? Also, the Seven of Swords, you know, it doesn't always have to be a negative card that someone is betraying you or someone is, you know, being unkind. It can be a card of independence, doing things differently, you know, approaching your work in a different way. And the Seven of Swords is a card of independence, not being a people pleaser, not conforming to expectations. This figure is trying to win the war in a different way, okay? So it's about strategizing, brainstorming, finding the best way for you and not having anyone sort of trying to influence you with their expectations. You're living life on your own terms, okay? Now, also with the Seven of Swords, if you've felt a lot of anguish when it comes to finances and you feel like you've got yourself in a bit of financial hole or a little bit of a stuck in a rut, it does tend to mean that there is a way out of it, okay? Especially with the Emperor card, it can mean get some advice. So if there's a bill that has taken you by surprise, snuck up on you, a date to pay something, it's always good to contact the provider that you sort of have the contract with, and they will be fair with the Justice card there. They will find a fair solution to help you move forward on paying that bill so that you don't worry, okay? Because this card can be a card of anxiety. If you've been going through anything difficult, this is a card of finding a way out of it, okay? Finding a unique alternative route out of your situation. Also, the Eight of Swords is a card of gaining clarity because there may be something that you cannot see at this time. Okay, the Eight of Swords is a card of sort of getting yourself out of difficulty, using your intuition, using your sort of intelligence, and it's also a card of being protected, okay? As you can see, this person here, there's loads of swords, they're all pointed down. None of them are actually a threat. So if there's something worrying you, they're indicating that it's not actually a threat, okay? It does indicate that you're protected at this time, but use your instincts and your hunches at this time because there may be something that you have overlooked or something that you cannot readily see at the moment. I'm going to pull a card to clarify the 8 and the 7 of Swords for you. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. So for example, if someone is, you know, really pushing your buttons at work, is being a bit unfair, it can mean that you're not aware that you have friends in high places with the Emperor card, and that actually, you know, you can sort this out, find a solution, and, you know, there are people who have your back. Queen of Swords. See, Queen of Swords is about finding a solution, being independent. Okay, it's also a card of being financially savvy. It's a card of being clever. So again, Seven of Swords is showing up again. So it's like you're being clever. You're doing things in a different way. I'm going to go one more. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide the Lovers? So again, the Lovers card is a card of like the law of attraction. You're attracting what your heart desires, okay? But it can also mean that the Lovers card can indicate like there's someone who, you know, has got your back in some way. You know, there is someone who sort of supports you. Can also mean that some of you, if you've been going through a difficult time in terms of a personal situation. There is someone at your workspace who cares enough to want to support the situation and make sure that you are okay. The Lover's card can also be a card of setting up a business with another person, a partnership. And with the Seven of Swords and the Lover's card and the Queen of Swords, I would say if you're setting up partnerships, make sure the contracts are, you read all the fine print, because you don't want anyone to swindle you out of your fair share of reward with the hard work that you're doing. Okay, Queen of Swords can also be a card of exposing the truth. If someone has been pushing your buttons at work, I would say, if I'm looking at this in these three cards, I would say that there could be someone who has ulterior motives at your workspace, who has maybe even a romantic interest. And if you're not happy with that, then of course, do something about that, take it to HR or something like that. But I get this energy of someone perhaps pushing your buttons or teasing you at work, sort of setting you apart, but they have romantic interests. There is an underlying romantic interest there. I feel like you're quite cold towards this person. Okay, I'm just going to pull another card with a different deck. How does this person feel about this romantic interest? Nine of Cups. Okay, you're pretty happy about that. The Queen of Cups. Okay, so I feel like you care about this person too, but I feel the way that they're going about it could perhaps be the wrong way about it, or maybe you don't want to sort of have any romantic influences at work. Okay, I would say make sure you value yourself as well. The Sun card indicates this is very auspicious energy. I see you doing things differently. I see you being a visionary, having wonderful ideas that will affect your future, and you will receive a wish. Okay, you will get what you've been hoping for in terms of your career. Also, with the Nine of Cups, the Queen of Cups, and the Sun, because we got two queens there, male or female. It's not a gender specific reading, but there are two people, so it can mean that someone has your back at work. Someone who really sort of respects your work, has got your back and wants to support you. Some of you may even go into spiritual practices. You may set up a second stream of income using your spiritual gifts, or set up some sort of YouTube platform, or TikTok or Instagram, things like that, in order to enhance your skills or get your skills out there. It could be that you are into the healthcare industry, because the Queen of Cups is someone who cares a lot about people. Also, you can do things like yoga, Reiki, divining tools, tarot, things like that. So some of you may be thinking about setting up your own business in that arena as well. It'll bring a lot of prosperity. Interesting how you have the Sun card again, to sort of indicate that all will be well. Everything will be working out in your favor, and your talents put you in a really good position for success. Okay, now I'm just going to go and get some final cards before we close. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Capricorn? What do they need to know? Can you please guide them for their highest good? What are they meant to be aware of? Can you please guide them? What are they meant to be aware of in their career? Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Capricorn? One final card for them. What are they meant to be aware of in their career? Whoa, that just flipped. That just flipped, like did a 180 in my hand there. We've got the Moon. Okay, so the first card here we have is gift. Okay, so an opportunity being gifted to you, something I feel like you've worked really hard for as well. Now, they're actually showing me in the water two magpies. One for sorrow, two for joy. Okay, so two for joy, two magpies there for you. So this will be your symbol where there is an opportunity headed your way in your career. It's a very positive experience. So watch out for two magpies. There's joy afoot. There's abundance headed your way. And it says giving and receiving, sudden windfall, generosity, financial support, work surprise, and vacation. I mean, some of you have got the vacation right there, but with the Fool card, I feel like you're being curious, but there are some changes, and some of these changes may take you by surprise, but I feel like it's a positive surprise, okay? It is actually a gift. Now, this could be a promotion, raise. It could be that you're getting your own office. It could be that you're going to be given like a really sort of wonderful project that everybody wants, but you get the project. So I feel like there's a lot of benevolence around this gift. We've also got pendulum. Now, whenever we got the pendulum, it is an indication that you're seeking answers or you're seeking change in some area, seeking, it's like you're trying to make decisions, so you're trying to weigh up your options. With the Justice card twice there and the Chariot card, I feel like you have a lot of options to choose from, and you will make the right decision. Just don't go too fast. It says fluctuating income, indecision, new strategy, seasonal work, job changes, making choices. Okay, so I definitely see them being very positive, but I feel like you're in search of answers. And we've got the moon. Okay, now the moon, of course, with the star there indicates during uncertain times, because the moon can be all about uncertain times. It can also be about opportunities lying in the shadows. Okay, so suddenly an opportunity appearing and you weren't even, looking for one, like, sudden opportunity popping into your mailbox. But it says fleeting funds, unknown sources, being guided, moonlighting, odd jobs, night shift, part-time. So I definitely get this energy of side hustle going on, something that perhaps you can do on your own independently. And I definitely get this energy of you being cautious with your spending habits and following hunches, because the moon is all about your intuition, and it's also about those hunches, to rely on any instincts. If you feel like someone has not got your back at work, or you feel like someone, for example, if your boss is saying, oh yeah, Capricorn, I've put you up for a raise, and that raise never comes, and they keep saying, I'll put you up there for it, and it never comes. I feel like your hunches are that perhaps you've hit a glass ceiling, and that boss is not putting you up for a promotion or a raise, or is perhaps, not powerful enough to sort of get you to the position you want to get to. So I feel like you take the matter into your own hands, and either, put yourself on, put your resume out there to get new opportunities, or you actually go to someone in a higher governing body and say, hey, can we sort of talk about my career progress and where I see myself in the future, and how I see myself, imparting my skills to the company, because you are very skillful. Remember, you're starting off with that 3 of Pentacles, which means any working environment or any working sector, whether you run your own business or not, any working sector is lucky to have the skill set that you have. So I feel like you are seeing the value in yourself, and you are making the changes to get the rewards for the effort that you put in. Okay, so I'm just going to go and get a rune before we close. Now, I know that this is the hero rune. This, it is, it means you have a lot of potential. Okay, it also means that things are coming to a happy conclusion. The things you've been working really hard towards are actually going to bring a lot of success. And it's a card of promise, a rune of promise. Okay, also we have, well, of course we have for you, my beautiful Capricorn, we've got the arrow. Now, this is about ambition. It's about success. It's about the sacrifices you make and having the courage to go after your dreams and your goals and make them a reality. Also, the arrow connects to the Justice card. So this can be you getting justice for the effort that you put in to your career, but also if you're going through any legalities, it means justice is on your side. There will be a fair outcome. If you're dealing with anybody who's a little bit untoward at work, or you've been there's a lot of office politics, things work out in your favor. Also, I see you feeling a little bit more ambitious than usual, and actually moving towards those goals and gaining momentum. Okay, so I'll leave it there. I hope something resonates in that reading for you, my beautiful Capricorn. If it does, please like and subscribe to my channel, completely free for you. All you have to do is press a little bell that lets you know when I update my next message. It lets me know that you resonate with the reading, which is very important for me too. Thank you so much, my beautiful Capricorn. Love and light.